I'm Beth. This is our 45-minute power yoga class. If you don't have any blocks or straps at home, you can always use a book or a towel. Just make sure that it's something rather sturdy. If you're using a book, make sure it's always covered down, and we'll get ready to go. So find a comfortable spot on your mat or in your space. And just connect to the mat. Let your neck grow tall a little bit. Relax the shoulders. Maybe close the eyes. Just letting hands rest lightly. Just start feeling the breath, bringing attention to it and focus. And as you grow more comfortable with the breath, let's start deepening. So breathing in through the nose if you can. Let that breath come down and let it fill up across the lungs to the top of the throat. And then exhaling nice and slowly, emptying the throat and the lungs, the belly. Continuing with that long sip of air in, take your time. Controlling that exhale out. Let it be slow and complete. Let's take time for one more inhale and exhale. Finish that exhale, go ahead and let your eyes open if they're closed. We're gonna take a twist towards that right side. So just bringing the left hand to the thigh, right arm behind, just like a kickstand behind you. Take a breath in to lengthen the spine. And then maybe rotate a little bit more back with that back shoulder. Remember, we're just warming up, so take your time, don't go too deep. Feeling the breath, pressing the ribs against the side of the body. One more breath here. When you get to that next inhale, go ahead and release. We'll go to the other side, right hand to thigh, left hand behind. Take a moment to lengthen, find the breath, and then revolve open just a little bit more. Continuing with those long, slow breaths. Let's take one more inhale and exhale. And then gently release back to center. We're going to take hands to the knees here. We'll do a seated cat-cow. So on an inhale, press the heart forward, lean forward, pull the shoulder blades together, maybe take a little look up. And then on the exhale, we're going to round through the spine, tuck the chin. And just moving with your breath here. Inhaling to press forward and exhaling to roll back. Let's go one more time each way. We'll come back to the middle, shoulders over the hips. Take your hands a little bit wider. We're gonna just stir the pot here. So taking shoulders on the diagonal towards that left side, we're gonna sweep down and around. Take a breath in as we lift. Exhale around, making that circle as wide as you like. You don't have to come all the way down. And keeping the sit bones on the mat. go around one more time this direction. And we'll meet at the top. And we're going to reverse it. So taking a look towards that right knee, leaning forward, sweeping around, inhaling up. Maybe even closing your eyes here, taking your time. Let's not rush it. We'll go one more time. Back to center. We're going to flip onto hands and knees. So we're setting up for down dog here. So spread the fingers nice and wide. Go ahead and tuck the toes. And we're going to lift up into our down dog. And just to get things moving, we're going to pedal the feet. So just bending one knee and then the other. Maybe letting the hips go a little side to side. And then let's make our way to down dog, drawing the heels down towards the mat. Heels do not have to touch, just drawing down. Feel that tailbone lifting up towards the ceiling. Kind of gripping the mat a little bit with your fingertips so you can push back. See if you can find some length through your neck, drawing the crown of the head towards the thumbs. Taking a big breath here through the back of the body. And then we're going to bend our knees, look forward to your hands. Let's walk feet to hands and find our first forward fold here. Bending the knees as much as you need to, just relaxing the upper body over the legs. Let that upper body hang heavy. And then on an inhale, let's sweep up to standing. Take a big breath in and let it go. All right, towards the top of your mat or your space. Feet can be together or slightly apart. We're going to take a breath in and exhale, folding forward. Taking hands to shins, take a breath in. You can also let the fingertips dangle here. We're lifting halfway up. Keep that eye gaze down, collarbone drawing away from your hips. Exhale and fold. We're going to step back to down dog. So drawing those heels down once again. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. On an inhale, let's come to plank. You can stay on your toes or come to your knees. We're going to lower all the way down for this first one, using control, using strength. So exhaling down, those elbows to the back of the room. Flatten the tops of the feet, hands back by the ribs. Inhale, cobra, just a little lift of the chest. Exhale, release. Let's push it up and back. Down dog. We're going to lift that left leg high, three-legged dog. That right heel still drawing down. Feel that pull between the two. And then on an inhale, let's crunch that left knee towards the outside of the elbow here. And then use your core to push that leg back straight. And we're going to bring it gently down. Let's go to the other leg. Right leg lifts. We're going to inhale, crunch in. And then exhale, push it back. Feet to mat. Bending knees, take a look forward. Let's walk, feet to hands. Folding a little more deeply. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, let it go. Take a full breath. Exhale, hinging at the hips. Inhale, lift to that flat back, extend. Exhale, release, step it back, down dog. When you're ready, let that breath move you forward. Take your time as you fill up with air here, and then exhale either halfway or all the way down. Coming into either the cobra we did before or up dog, where the hips and thighs are up off of the mat. Exhale, push the hips high. We're gonna lift that left leg. Let's crunch it in. Knee doesn't have to touch the elbow, it's just coming towards. And then push the leg back. We're gonna step that left foot through between the hands to find our lunge. And I want you to rotate that right foot so the toes are at an angle, about 45 degrees. Inhale, come on up, warrior one. So sinking into the legs, that front knee is over the ankle, belly is drawn in, arms can stay wide, or if it's comfortable, go ahead and clasp, interlacing fingers, index fingers pointing up, biceps by the ears, relax the shoulders down. Take a big breath. One more breath here. And then we're going to release the hands. Keep the legs as they are. We're turning the shoulders on the diagonal. Let's take hands behind to clasp. And you want to interlace the fingers. Try to squeeze the palms together. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you can just squeeze the palms towards one another. Squeeze the shoulder blades together so we're opening the chest. Take a breath in. And on an exhale, we'll start to lean forward into humble warrior. So you can stop anywhere along the way. Maybe right here, maybe a little lower. Maybe that left shoulder comes to the inside of the knee. Maybe we lift the hands away from the lower back. Just relaxing the head and neck. Try to push through that back foot a little bit more. And we're going to come up nice and slowly. So relax the hands back to the lower back, tuck the chin, and we're going to round up just vertebrae by vertebrae to the top. Release the hands, let's step it in. Heading for chair, feet together or just under the hips. Sink back. We're going to add a twist here. We're going to look to the left side. So you could bring hands to thigh and turn the shoulders. Let that turn, that twist come through the shoulders. If you want, you could slide down, maybe extend the arms. If you like, prayer twist, hooking the elbow, palms together, stacking the elbows, seeing if you can really press the palms together to help with the twist. One more breath here. And then we're going to release the hands down, step the right leg back, and come on up for crescent. So this is different from where we started in our warrior one. This time the back heel is lifted, hips and shoulders are square to the front. Arms can be wide or closer together. Just relaxing those shoulders down. Hug the belly in. Next breath, go ahead and release hands down. We're going to step back to down dog. Take a moment, take a breath, and we'll lift that right leg high. We're going to take that knee to the outside of the elbow, and then use your core strength to lift and press back. Stepping that right foot through between the hands, finding your lunge. Turn that back heel down. Inhale, come on up. Remembering arms can stay wide or you can clasp. Relaxing the shoulders. So it's not really a twist. The hip is open to the side and the shoulders are towards the front of the room here. How much breath can you bring to the body? Next breath, we're going to go ahead and release the arms. Turn those shoulders on the diagonal. Let's clasp behind. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take a breath in. Exhale, start to fold. Legs stay nice and steady. Maybe taking those hands and lifting them away from the lower back. Breathe. And then gently tuck the chin, release the hands down. We're going to roll up nice and slowly. Take your time. Release the hands, let's step it in. Finding that chair, sink back. Weight is in the heels. We're gonna twist to that right side this time. Twisting from the shoulders and deciding if you wanna work your way down, maybe expand the arms or hooking the elbow. Inner thighs squeezing towards one another. Go ahead and release, hands down. We're gonna take that left foot back, find our lunge. Inhale, come on up, sink in. So those inner thighs are still drawing towards one another. Belly button hugging towards the spine. One more breath. And then gently bring the hands down. We're gonna step feet together, fold. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, let it go. Full breath in. Exhale, release. Inhale, lifting halfway up. Pull that collarbone away from the hips. Exhale, release. Let's step it back. Down dog. Floating forward on the breath. Exhale, strength on the way down. Inhale to press the heart through. Exhale to press the hips high. That left leg is gonna lift. We're gonna bring knee to the outside of the elbow and push it back. Stepping that left foot through between the hands. Turn that back heel down, inhale, come on up. Warrior one, sink in. Let everything kind of draw down towards the floor. Can you push evenly through your feet here? Nice long breaths. When you get to that next inhale, go ahead and release the arms. Let's turn on that diagonal, clasp behind, squeeze, press the heart forward, take a breath. Exhale, start to fold. Whatever angle feels good along the way, relax the head and neck. And then slowly release the arms, tuck the chin, round it up, and step feet together. Let's find that chair, sink in. We're turning to the left. Maybe you're feeling a little more warm and you want to try a different variation. Go for it, sinking into the heels, but really finding that twist, turning the shoulders to the left. Next inhale, go ahead and release the hands down. We're gonna step that right leg back. Find your lunge, inhale, come on up, find your balance. Sink in, so you're pressing through that back heel. That back knee can be a little bent or straight. Belly nice and tight, big breath. We're gonna head to some balance from here. So we're gonna shift the weight forward onto that left leg, heading to warrior three. So you can keep the arms long or take them wide. And we're just gonna start to tip forward towards parallel. So any angle along the way will work. You could be right here or here. Once you get there, flex those back toes towards the knee. Micro bend in that front knee. Pushing down through that standing leg, and then hug the hip up into the body here. Hug the belly up into the body. One more breath. And then slowly come on in. We're gonna take the toes down, heading to tree. So we're still on that left leg, I know. The right knee is out to the side. You can keep toes down, lift up above the ankle. or maybe above the knee. Just make sure you're not pressing on the knee. May not do any damage today, but over time, we don't know, so let's not do it. We're gonna inhale the arms up. And I want you to feel nice and tall here. You're pushing down through your foot, lengthening up through the crown of the head. We're gonna add a little variation to tree, but you're welcome to stay here. We're gonna take that right arm down to our leg, just resting the back of the hand to the thigh. Take a breath in, and then exhale and lean towards that bent leg. Maybe not too far, just a little. So the ribs can push out, but notice if the hip is pushing out. See if you can hug the hip in. Find a spot to focus your eye gaze. One more breath. Next breath in, go ahead and straighten out. Release, take the feet down. Maybe give the legs a little shake. We're gonna step this right leg back again for that crescent lunge. We're gonna add another twist. So turning shoulders to that bent leg. You could stay right here, or just like we did in chair, slide the arm down and expand. Or maybe hook the elbow, come into that prayer twist. So think about your back leg. Can you push through that heel a little bit more to strengthen? One more breath. And then we'll release the twist, hands down to frame the foot. And we're gonna step back down dog. Take a breath. Let's lift that right leg high, bringing knee to the outside of the elbow and push it back. Stepping right foot now between the hands, settling that back foot out on the diagonal. Inhale, coming up, warrior one. See what you need to adjust. If the shoulders are facing to the side, that's okay. But see if you can just roll that right shoulder back a little bit more to square the shoulders more towards the front. One more big breath. And then release the arms. We're gonna turn those shoulders on the diagonal, clasp behind, squeeze. Take that breath down. Exhaling forward. Feel the strength of your legs, feel that belly still hugging in. Gently release the hands down, tuck the chin, roll yourself up. Release the hands, let's step it in. Chair pose, sink in, lots of legs today. Turning to the side. Where do you want to go? It can be different than what you did last time. Can be different than what you did on the other side even. So breathing can be constricted in this pose. Really try to breathe as deeply as you can here. And then go ahead and bring hands down. We're gonna step that left leg back. Come on up for your crescent. Everything squared forward this time. Push through that back heel. Feel the length of your spine, the length of your neck. Try not to lift the ears or the shoulders towards the ears. Let them relax down. One more breath. Let's head to our balance work. So maybe arms come out. Feel all four corners of that right foot, soft through the knee, and we'll start to come forward, stopping at any angle along the way. And then for that extra bit of strength, flex those toes in. It's like you want to stand on the wall behind you. One more breath here. we'll slowly come back to standing. We're not done with balance yet. This time that left knee is gonna go out. So again, remembering one side is not the same as the other side. So see what feels best on this side. Whoop. Pull the hip in, pull the belly in. We're gonna inhale the arms up. Still a little micro bend in that standing leg. Sorry, trying to catch my balance here. We're gonna take that left hand, top of the hand down to the thigh. Take a breath in, grow a little taller. And exhale, really slowly navigate to that bend if you want it. You can skip it altogether. Notice if that hip is jutting out to the side, can you hug it in a little bit more? One more breath. If you fall out, just come back or stay. Next breath, come on up. Release, give the legs a little shake, maybe circle the ankles a little bit. We're gonna send this left leg back this time for our twist. So turning shoulders to that front leg, and then deciding we're gonna expand the arms or maybe hook the elbow, push through that back heel. Eye gaze wherever is comfortable. You can even look up if you want to test your balance a little bit. Next breath, go ahead and bring hands down. We're gonna step back, down dog. Come on down to your knees. Let's find child's pose. So just relaxing hips to heels. You can wrap the arms if you want. And just relax for a few breaths, widening out the knees. Grab a drink of water if you like. Take another breath here. And when you get to that next inhale, come on up to hands and knees. So I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see we're headed to side plank. So I'm gonna start on my left side, but we're gonna do both sides, so just do whichever feels best at the moment. I'm gonna step that left hand in just a little bit, and I'm gonna swing that left leg around and open up to my side plank. You could be here with that knee down. You could lift that back leg. If it feels okay, stepping that left leg back, keeping the hips high, drawing the belly in. Imagine the mat is trying to lift up from the floor. You want to push down into the mat. Options from here, you could lift that leg. Breathe. Can we go for one more breath? And then slowly bring it down, back to hands and knees. Let's sit back for child's pose. Give that wrist a break, turn the palms up towards the ceiling, and then rest the head down. Next breath, go ahead and come on up. We're ready for the other side. So this time I'm gonna bring my right hand in a little bit, spin that right leg back as I turn open to that right side or to that left, which side? Left side. And again, options. You could lift the leg here or keep the foot down. Maybe extend that bottom leg. If this feels good, stay right here. Maybe lift the top leg. And again, really pressing down through that bottom hand. If it bothers your wrists, feel free to come into a forearm side plank. Eye gaze wherever is comfortable. One side may be harder than the other. Having trouble keeping my balance on this one. One more breath. And bring it down, have a seat. Whew. All right, let's bring those legs long. So here, if you want a strap and you don't have an actual yoga strap, you can use anything, a towel. Let's fold that right leg in. We want to feel our sit bones on the mat. And this left leg is active. So we're pressing that heel into the mat, toes up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. If you have your strap or your towel, you may want to place it around the bottom of the foot here. On the exhale, we're going to lean forward, hinging at the hips. So notice the difference. If you keep a straight spine with that collarbone heading towards your toes, you're going to feel that stretch in the hamstring a little bit more. If you start to curl to get closer to the leg, now we bring the back into play. It's not wrong, it's just different. So what I'd like to do is stretch our hamstrings since we did all those chairs and lunges. So maybe keep that straight spine and that collarbone just reaching for your toes. And you can rest your hands wherever, even to the side here. You may find after a couple of breaths that you maybe can release a little bit more, maybe just a centimeter. Either closing your eyes or keeping eye gaze to your toes here. Let's take one more breath. When you get to that next inhale, go ahead and rock yourself up. We're going to add a twist here. So bringing that right knee up, we're going to step that right foot across. And you have an option with this bottom leg to keep it as it was in the forward fold with that heel pressing into the mat, or maybe bending it in towards the body. And we're going to twist the shoulders towards that front knee, hug, and take that back hand. Keep it in close if you can. And you can always use a block if that's helpful under this hand, or that book that you might have that is the right height. From here, I want you to hug the knee in, breathe the spine long with that big breath in, and then exhale and rotate over that back shoulder, taking the eye gaze with you. If it's okay for your neck, if it bothers your neck, just keep it to the side or even forward. Now, how much breath can you feel here? Let it widen through the side body. It's going to feel tight. It's going to feel constricted. Let it be. One more breath here. And then that next inhale will rotate us around. Bring the legs straight, find the sit bones again. We're gonna fold that left leg in, find that long spine, and then exhale, walk yourself down. Resting hands to the side of the leg, to the toes. Can you feel that spine lengthening? Think of that collarbone pulling out towards the toes. And as you continue with those long breaths, can you soften anything here? Maybe the shoulders, maybe the jaw, not jaws. One more breath. And gently ease it up. We're going to lift that left knee, step that left foot across, deciding what that right leg wants to do, staying straight or wrapping in. We're going to hug around the body, taking that right hand behind. Inhale. Use that kickstand of the arm in the back. And then exhale, revolve open. Reminding yourself to breathe as deeply as you can here. Feel the ribs expand. Feel that exhale, knit the ribs back together. Breath. Go ahead and release. Let's roll onto our backs, keeping feet flat to the mat here. Let them be a little wide, and just take a moment to settle. Let that lower back release into the mat. Maybe windshield wiper the knees a little bit here, just gently side to side. And bring it back to the middle. We have one more pose before we head to the good stuff of Savasana. So let's bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out. Now when you get here, wherever you landed may not be where you want to be. So you can push the feet away from the body or hug them closer in. Find that perfect spot for you. Make sure the lower back has contact with the mat. So if you're arching up, maybe lift the knees a little bit. You can put some pillows under the knees or readjust the feet till that lower back rests. A lot of times it feels really nice to have hands to belly, just for that grounding feeling. If you'd like to open the chest a little bit, you could take arms up overhead and take hold of forearms or elbows and just rest. But we want the arms to rest, so if they don't come all the way down to the mat, just bring hands to belly or arms by your side. And then let your eyes close and let gravity help open and stretch us here through the legs and hips. did take hold of those arms overhead, bring the hands down by the outside of the thighs now to help the feet back to the mat, the knees back towards one another. Let's hug the knees in for just a moment. Maybe a couple circles in each direction with the knees. To massage the lower back. And then we're going to get ready for Savasana. So feet to mat. So grabbing whatever you may need to be comfortable. Make sure you have space if you want to extend out. When that lower back says it's okay, lengthening the legs. And try to take the feet a little bit wider so that the toes flop out, the hips can open. Arms by your side, maybe palms up. Maybe pressing into the back of the head to lift the chest a little bit, squeeze the shoulder blades, and let them rest back down. But of course, any pose where you can find softness and surrender is completely fine. This is the close of our practice and the end of the effort. So see if we can let go here. Softening, expression. Just letting the breath feel comfortable. Letting go of control. And we'll stay here for a few moments. Start to come out of this nice and gently, small movements, fingers, toes, circling wrists and ankles. And then bringing the legs closer together here. Let's lift the arms up overhead. Take that big stretch, big inhale, and let it go. And just hugging one knee, and then the other into the chest, rocking gently side to side. I'm going to roll over onto whichever side. Stay curled up though for a moment. Make a pillow for your head with your arm. Maybe leave the eyes closed or start to blink them open. Gently start to press up into a comfortable seat. And we'll finish with a big breath together. So inhaling up, exhaling hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, please reach out. Namaste.